Pashaparo, Y7, thank you for choosing the replay. Big board P.E.P for my peeps. I got a quick story for you today, and we're not gonna beat a dead horse like it's easy to do at times like this, rather, I wanna review today with you because this situation changed things for me today, and I'm not speaking in just the obvious. So I'm gonna take some time to tell you about what happened. All right. Here's how I look at it. You've been following the channel for a while. You know what's going on. You know how I rock. I was into some things for some time, like some stocks for long plays, days. Like I remember I caught Neo at 33 all the way up to like 55. So, and that was a solid run. That wasn't like even like an in and out on a daily thing or anything like that. So what I've been developing in myself, and over the last couple months in this arena, is things that I utilize in other aspects of my life. And I've just been finding ways that they work in this scenario too. And one thing that I always encourage my peeps here at Big Board P.E.P is to remain agile. And a critical part of that is your anti-FOMO. Right? Your fear of missing out. Your anti-FOMO. So I'm gonna tell you how this situation changed, because we ran up RMG, we ran up Neo, we ran up everything here. What changed for me with this one, with BNGO, right? Here's the day's chart. I don't even have nothing on it. I got a line, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know, that's uncharacteristic of me. Normally I got a whole bunch of stuff going on, etc., and because you know I like to play the in and out lately. So what happened is, so here's what the card says, and this is all I say, right? And right now there's probably 10,000 people talking about BNGO. You had people talking about BNGO at Thursday, telling you, not, don't chase, and when to get in, and is it right for you to get in now, and etc. They still making videos right now. When should you get in BNGO? I'm gonna tell you what changed. I'm gonna tell you what changed with me. And see, you gotta be real enough with yourself to know when you've changed, because that change could be as simple as an identification that you discovered something new about yourself or about your environment, and or you're going to another level with whatever it is you're doing. So this card here doesn't have any remarks about predictions. I did 3 videos. The last 3 videos told you everything I knew about BNGO. If you want information on BNGO, go watch my last 3 videos. But what I have to say right now is probably going to be the most important thing I've said in reference to BNGO, because it was the most profound experience. It was the most profound part of this experience for me. And if you haven't had a moment like this, I hope you do soon. So the card says, let me tell you how bingo has changed my life. At about the $5 mark, give or take, I lost interest in the stock. And I spelled anti wrong. You know I'd be typing too fast. So I said practicing the anti FOMO. I sold it right around $5, give or take. It was a little above 5, a little below 5, some here, some there. But here's why. See, here's my experience with bingo. I wasn't one of the people talking about to you on Thursday about it, talking, hey, it's at $3, it's at $4 in the aftermarket. When should you get it now? And then you come in here Monday and hop in, and you get it at $4.90. And my normal strategy. I'd have took that, I'd have chopped that up. We'd have made some cake. We would have hit our goal. Definitely with this one, the way the day was today. And we would have been very happy if this was a normal everyday situation, right? We would have, I don't like the word happy. We would have been very joyful. But here's what the difference was for me with bingo. I did a lot of research. I like research. But I did a lot of research. And that's why I discovered bingo I was in it. The first time I was in it was the 17th, when it was in the 50 cent area. Right now, and it's not even about money. It's not even about currency. It's not even about paper right now. But I'm gonna say it like this. Right now, if you buy, I don't know what it's at. It says 617 right here. It could be whatever, right? So we know it hit over $7 a day, 7 whatever, right? And this is how I feel about it right now. and I 2 weeks ago, I'd have never thought I would sound like this about a stock, but I'm going to tell you what changed. I'm going to tell you why I know it changed. I'm going to tell you why it's so great that this happened, because it changed my perspective of what you've been watching the growth. We came in, like I said, we was in for periods of time with certain stocks because we knew they were growing. We didn't care. And then because the market started getting shady and shaky, and the end of the year sales, sell-offs, and profit taking, and this, that, and the other, and everything's affecting everything, and this is happening, and there's a massive pullback happening at the same time, and da and all this stuff. I changed my strategy to, I don't want to be in long term, not because I don't, but you got people hitting you with sales pitches like, oh, you need to believe in the company. I do. I believed it was going to do what I said it was going to do. But what I have less trust in, it's not about the company, it's about the market itself. And I've been saying that for probably about at least 4 weeks now. And what I mean by that is I haven't really been, like I said, I picked that moment in time Thursday because I knew I just was certain about it. And it did what I needed it to do, and I got out at the $5 mark. But here's why I'm content with that. Like, I have no regrets. I mean, I still got I had a couple hundred shares, and then I sold them, and I got like 50 left, right? I just hung on to 50. So, and here, I know that sounds crazy, right? Because some of y'all are looking for to squeeze every last drop of lemon juice out the lemon, right? But here's my view. Hear me out. So when I look back at my experience with Neo, right? You got people, stay in there for the long term. You gotta go up and down with the stock and everything. And I'm like, to me, that doesn't make sense, right? Because it's wasteful to have your resources tied up when you could be using them for another opportunity. Okay, let me elaborate on what I mean by that, because I know you're sitting there like, what are you talking about, Nia? Bingo's on the way up. It's going out of control. It's going out of control to you right now because you just discovered it. Not to say you personally, but that person, right? That person just discovered it. Those people just discovered it, and they're seeing it now, and they want to get in now. And it reminded me of a lot of stuff in my life where you were doing it 10 years before everybody else. So by the time they got to it, you were kind of bored with it. But here's why. I did the research. What separates bingo for me from other stocks that I've had on this channel is I've been getting better. I've been getting better at the research aspect and the searching out and understanding why and knowing when because of the research. And that put me in this is the first, remember I always tell you guys, when not to say everything is perfect and every day is perfect. I mean, it's always the perfect day because that moment was supposed to happen and it taught you something. But what I mean is to say, it's not to say every time I sit down to do, we're gonna max out and we never take losses. No, this ain't that type. I'm not even gonna pretend to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with you. So now we do have much more green days than you know what I mean. I have been on that type of path, so I applaud that. But it comes from the strategy, and here's what I'm getting at. So because of the work I put in advance, the actual 5 P's, proper preparation prevents poor performance. While some people are still right now on the 4th, talking about when should you get in bingo, I'm pretty much done with it. Literally, like I'm done with it because I got it at 50 cents, right? I knew what I had. I took care of business early. When I look back at the situation, we did a good bit of money last week off it. We made a good bit of profit last week off it. I was hopping in and out of it. A couple people I was talking to was like, man, you missed 60 cents. It went up 60 cents overnight. You got out. Why'd you get out? I'm like, that's my strategy. I'm not missing nothing. I'm not missing nothing. And I'm not missing the risk either, sitting there holding on to that when that 60 cents not guaranteed. It happened. Yeah, it happened. That's great. I'll scalp some tomorrow. And then when we got in position, I was like, okay, this is going to be the run up. Now, even knowing that, I had an idea, but I didn't know for certain it was going to hit, whatever it hit today, 7, right? So here's how I look at it. Before the market even opened, I mean, we're up $2 plus on top of 2,400 shares that you guys know I was carrying from Thursday. Plus, so that's like, let's say 5, right? Right there. Just from like this is the next hour the market's open, you already up 5K. So then when you put in what you had last week, is another 4 change. You're over 9K on a stock. And this, the numbers don't mean shit because Warren Buffett does 9K in 10 seconds. I mean, that's nothing. What we're trying to do is we're trying to work to get to become Warren Buffett. So it's wins like this with strategies and growth and development that get you there. So I'm sharing this with you in detail like everything else because I need you to understand something. So because I had time to think about all this, and I was like, I'm already up 9. I'm up 9, and the stock is at $5. All right, let's see what it do. And I gave it a moment. It dropped. It came back up, and I was like, you know what? This ain't guaranteed because I'm expecting a pullback at some point. I'm expecting a pullback at some point. You're expecting a pullback at some point. Some of you haven't got in right now because you're expecting a pullback for the last 4 days. So you know what? Cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm up from last week. I'm looking at 5 here. I'm done. Because here's what I realized. When I say I'm not interested in the stock no more, it's not because of the company. Again, it's because the mark. If something happens, they can make an announcement tomorrow. COVID fell out of plane and spikes. Cases are all over the place, and boom, the whole market collapsed. Right, so you're waiting on it to hit $8, and now you're back down to 2. Right, a share. Which, if you got it, if you held from 50 cents, it would still be a profit, but it's not what you were looking at today. Right, so. That's battling the fear of missing out. So when I looked at the situation, and because of my strategy earlier, and because of the preparation, I'm like, you know what, I'm good with this one because it wasn't. I realized it wasn't fun anymore, and that was surprising to me. But here's what I learned: the reason why was. It was because this was the first stock that, like I said, I took and I researched. I went through 30 to 50 companies. It had, well, I ain't gonna say 30 to 50. It was probably more like 35 companies. I went through 35 companies, and I investigated all of them, and this was the one that I said I was gonna, out of those 35, I felt like it was gonna move, and that's why I was in it so early. And so what it was that what I've learned over this last, let's say 3-4 months, is starting to cure in me. And if I was Warren Buffett right now, that would have probably been a $90 million play. You know what I mean? So I'm more concerned about my technique and my strategy than saying I squeezed every single dime out of it, because that the more you try to do that, the risk goes up. But here's what I'm getting at. Because the more you focus on your technique and your strategy, and the more you perfect that, the more you can duplicate it. So what happened was, I was sitting there when the stock was at $5 doing this little dance, and I sold some. And now normally what I would do is I would sell the lock in the profit. I might buy back in, and I would have definitely caught that upswing all the way up to $7, and then probably sold and maybe made an extra grand or two or whatever. Who knows? But this time was different because I was like, you know what? I don't even care. The stock could go to $20 right now, and I wouldn't care, because if I had been on another stock and I got in at $4, $5, got in today, it would have been big for me. It would have been like, yeah, I got in at 5, man. I caught it all the way up to 7. You know what I mean? I sold. I got it at and that's not to say that, you know, every situation is different, right? You got to be grateful for what they each are. But here's what happened with this one. So we know in the past I'd have done that. I'd have been in at 5. I'd have took it to 7. I'd have sold. It would have dropped. I'd have got back in at 6, and I'd have caught that to 7-ish. And then, you know how I dance. But this time I was like, I'm up 10. I'm, like 10K. Like, you know what? Go enjoy your day. Literally, like, you got work to do. Go do go work on your project and stuff like that. So, because what it was now is I'm not excited. I'm not excited about the whole buying in at 5, because if I buy 1,000 shares at 5, that's 5 G's. And it's not that it's 5 G's. It's the fact that if you buy 1,000 shares at 50 cents, it's $500. And now I realize what level I'm on. You see, I realize what level I've come to now, and my goals have changed. See, as your abilities grow, I think your goals should change. And I'm not saying I'm not going to, perform anything like any other stocks I did in the past. But what I'm saying is now my goals are like, I'm like, yo, this is new. This is something new. I didn't know about this a month ago. Remember, 4 levels of consciousness. So now you experience it for yourself. You realize you're capable of it. You realize how you did it. You planned it out. You know it's duplicatable. Now I want to go do the next one. I want to go find the next one now at 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, and get that and catch it up to $5, $6, $8 whenever I get that feeling that it's time to go. Because now that's how it changed my life. Because now that was the biggest thrill. That was the biggest excitement. Like, now everybody's talking about it. Now everybody's jumping in on it. Now it's like it's just another stock now. I don't know how that happened. If you've experienced that, help me out and tell me about your experience in the comments below. Because now I'm more. That's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to find the next one. I talked to a couple people, and I think some posts here and there and some comments. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go find the next one, because I knew over the weekend, like, I'm probably gonna be out Monday. And when I saw it happen and felt it happen, it happened. I'm done. I'm good. Everybody's in it. I wish y'all the best. But I'm looking for the next one now. So, we'll see. That's how BNGO changed my life. Like, it introduced me to, it was confirmation of the development of my technique, and now I wanna keep mastering and improving that situation, because it's a different world. When you catch a stock at 50 cents, even though it only went up to $5, that's already 10x. If I had stayed in there, that would have been a straight 10x off of whatever. I actually probably turned more by doing it the way I did it, than just staying in there with what I had. But you know how we've done that. So what it is that I think it's why I always encourage people to not just be following, like, jumping in a stock because I said so or because they see it, but to actually develop themselves and knowing why they're doing it, why they're getting into the stock, knowing, because then you'll know when it moves a certain way, how you feel about it, and when you should be getting out, etc., etc., etc. So that's what happened. So we hit it hard. We had a great time with it. It was a lovely party, and I'm ready for the next wave of the next thing. And I wasn't expecting that feeling. I wasn't expecting that at all. Actually, I had considered having a small stake in this because by all accounts it should go into double digits. I think there might be a pullback prior to reaching the double digits, or immediately thereafter, and then it could continue going wherever way it's going to go, and it has the potential to become Pat Bio, like I said, Pat Bio. So we're talking it could go easily to $20 at some point in the near future. I just I got like a new addiction now. It's like, yo, what's the next one you gonna find at like $1 or less? You can do everything else. I can pull up a stock. You can pull up a stock. You can catch it on the way. You know how to do that now. When you've been dealing with big boy P.E.P, That's nothing new. You can execute that if you want to. So what happens is now by having majority of your self out waiting for the opportunity, you can catch the next big deal. So if you tie yourself up with 20,000 in bingo, then you find the next one, you know, you might have another 20, 30 grand to put into that one. But eventually what I'm getting at is you're going to have, you're going to reach a level where if you do that, if you do that all the time, you're not going to have no room to move. Right. So I told you guys, we talked about in a few weeks ago, being ready, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that doubles as actually protecting yourself, because with the market being unstable, whether you got it in a mutual fund or you got it in stocks, if something happens and the market triggers and it all goes down somewhat, you know, we not that far away from last March when everything dropped by 80%. I just need you guys to remember that. I think that the market's been running up since then, and I think you need to remember last March and the possibility that could happen at any given moment. And if you knew that was going to happen tomorrow, would you have played today differently? And if you say yes, then that's showing you may have opportunity to revamp your strategy. Because if it does drop tomorrow and you got 95% of your situation not tied up into the actual stock, well, let it go down to 20%, because you know what stocks you want to hop in at 20, because you saw what happened just in March. When they went down to 20, they're going to come back up. But why not buy them at 20% instead of waiting for them to come back up because you was stuck in one? You see what I'm saying? So right now, if, you know, we hit this, whatever that top was, 7 change right before closing, okay, now you got all the short sellers involved. You got everybody shorting the stock. You got a bunch of stuff going on right now, which is always the case. So if this drops tomorrow 50%, I'm not saying it will. I hope it keep going up for y'all. Or if any stock drops, look at Romeo Power. But we knew that was to be expected. When you got a SPAC, it comes out, the merger gets announced, they go crazy volatile, and then they drop. It's the pattern, right? Then it comes back up over time. Okay, cool. We know that. We know what to expect. That's why we're not mad at Romeo. We're not angry. We all made money off of Romeo. We helped Romeo make money. We got him in position. Now go do your thing, Romeo. We're gonna check you out in a minute. You see what I'm saying? That's part of the game. I think it's about don't be greedy, right? And you got to define what that is for you. So I'm looking for the next one now. It's weird because I would totally be ready to eat this up for the next couple of days, like just give me that $1 here, $1 there, but a share, you know what I'm saying? 30 cent, 40 cent here, boom, 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 because that adds up quick. 1,000 shares and it moved 40 cents. That's $400. Bam, that's your goal for the day. Go home, go and enjoy your day. But I'm just not at this moment, just not interested, because I want to find the next one that I can be in 2 weeks before the general population finds out, or a month before the general population finds out, because that's telling me, and it's not even for a boasting or bragging or anything like that. What it is this confirmation that what I've been practicing and what I've been working on, I'm getting better at, because where I was finding plays, at the same time, a lot of other people was finding them from working on my technique, I'm finding plays earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier. I'm not saying one day I'll be on your top 5 analyst list, or, some investment company gonna give me a phone call and say, hey, can you come work for us, even though you've never officially done this before in your life, and this YouTube channel is just entertainment purposes only, and you should subscribe and hit the notification bell, because we do get serious stuff done here. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it now. It's like a whole new world, and I didn't expect that, and that's how bingo has changed my life. So 96% of me wants to go find the next bingo. Like, I would almost just not put into any other stock right now until I find the next bingo to get into. And that's weird, because if you'd asked me a month ago, I couldn't have fathomed that idea. So maybe it'll wear off, but it just nothing else makes sense right now to me, especially with the market being on edge the way it is, whether you realize it or not. So we'll see how it go. Give me a day or two. I got some things I'm looking into, but I haven't solidified anything yet. So definitely hit the subscribe button, because you're going to want to hear and see what I come up with next. Check the last 3 videos, because pretty much everything everybody else is talking about this week will be in my videos from last week. And enjoy your day. Like, and define what your goal is, and learn yourself. And as you develop and you grow, don't be afraid to admit that you're changing, because that's growth. If you shut the growth out, if you don't acknowledge your growth, you'll keep repeating the same thing, and that's insanity. Insanity could be something good too, but because by definition you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You see, you can still be getting good results, but if you're saying you want more, then in your mind might be like, well, keep doing this more and more and more and more. Well, technically that is more, but that's insanity, because you're doing the same thing, but you're wanting more, right? What happens if you change a little bit of it, or grow a little, develop something? Now you do this and you mass a bunch more in the same time and space. You see what I'm saying? Like, be careful of how you identify infinity, and learn yourself to know that you're changing and growing and developing, because that's important. All right, so that's how bingo changed my life. I'm ready to test myself, accept the challenge to see what I can find next, and I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I hope everybody had a great day today. It's a great start to the new year. Let's get it. Pashaparo, Y97. Thank you for tuning. The replay, big board P.E.P for my peeps.